pro-Trump conservatives will now have the opportunity to have a safe space. Now, this is a new app that was launched earlier this month, and what it does is that it will help conservatives find so-called safe restaurants and other businesses that they will not be where they won't be harassed for supporting Donald Trump. Now, the app is called 63 Red Safe App, and app creator Scott Wallace recently went on Fox and Friends to explain what his app does. Let's take a look.
We wanted to make sure that people could let others know what restaurants may have a political bent. Now, we're not looking to try and find restaurants that are conservative or pro-Trump. Our aim is to get politics out of local businesses, local restaurants, and make everyone feel comfortable when they go out.
Okay, and so I've seen this described as Yelp for conservatives. But Scott, on the locations that are deemed unsafe, and that one right there is safe, what went into saying they're not safe?
Sure. Well, you know, users can review the local businesses and restaurants. It's just 4 quick questions, yes or no questions. Number 1, does this location serve all customers regardless of political beliefs? Will they protect their customers if they're under attack by others in the restaurant? There's a concealed carry question, and does the location have a political presence in their social media? Again, we're trying to get politics out of these businesses. We want businesses to understand that there's no money in politics, and we're working to call them out on it. People just want to go out and eat. They just want to go out and shop. Let's not mix the two. There's sort of a general unease among conservatives, and we want to make sure everyone's safe out there.
Safe is in safe space. That's what this is. Now, look, he said, oh, no, I just want to get the politics out of local businesses. Maybe you should not bring your politics into the local business. So, look, there's a lot of disagreement on what the red MAGA hat actually means, right? Or what it actually stands for, or what it does. Like, should you wear it in public? Look, just like any political shirt or societal shirt or whatever, or hat, it has a meaning. And of course, the MAGA hat is basically an invitation. It's an invitation to either get together and do rowdy, terrible things, or to have a statement. And the statement it makes is generally not a good thing, in my opinion, right? That's like me wearing an F Jesus shirt. It's going to turn a few heads. It's going to start a couple of arguments. That's why you don't wear something like that. But anyway, now, again, let's get the politics out of local businesses, right? Another part of that meaning is, hey, maybe you won't get kicked out for being a jerk to minorities. I mean, let's keep it real. That's what the majority of people who end up wearing MAGA hats end up usually doing. I'm just saying, when they get caught, on camera berating a black person or a minority, it's usually somebody with a MAGA hat on. And yes, there are some times where there is fake people trying to set up Trump supporters. The majority of the time it's generally just a Trump supporter being super racist. Now, he also said, again, we want businesses to understand that there's no money in politics. But there is money in politics. There's a lot of money in politics, especially if you're on the conservative side. Look at Chick-fil-A, right? Or look at the other side. To be fair, there's Nike and Colin Kaepernick. So now, the reason that this is important, that Kaepernick is a great example, is there's no money in being hateful. There is money in inclusion, right? So I wish there was no money in the politics whatsoever, right? But to be honest, there is, look, being inclusive and catering to all people is just good business sense. And so why wouldn't you want to appeal to the most people? And so with Kaepernick, for example, the majority of America agrees with him. And there's only people that are outraged, and those people are usually on the right. So, but again, on the right side, you have Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is, I think, openly conservative. Now, has it stopped a lot of liberals from eating here? I don't think so. But generally, sometimes they do get, or they did get in trouble for their political stances on things, or the political stance of people like the CEO. You also had Papa John's. Papa John Schnatter, who was the former CEO, board member of Papa John's Pizza, was also very openly conservative and pro-Trump, and that got his business into a little bit of trouble. Then you also have the gun stores. Remember doing the story on a gun store that wouldn't sell guns to Muslims? It's a curious position, right? Oh, I'm not going to sell guns to Muslims. They're not welcome here. Well, that's a political statement. So you want to get all the politics, out of restaurants. That's literally impossible to do at this point, getting the politics out of business. But we can get the money out of politics. That'd be a great thing. But that's not what he actually means, right? He means something completely different. No, the reasoning for this is that he's afraid that Trump supporters are going to be targeted by Antifa. And he actually says this later on. He said, I think Antifa was nothing compared between now and what's coming in 2020. And I am deeply concerned. So here we go with the fear. Oh, the anti-fascists are coming. If you're afraid of anti-fascists, then what does that make you? Just a quick question on that, right? I mean, again, from their perspective, discriminating against Muslims and black people, not a problem. That's fine. But how dare people discriminate against me because I'm a conservative white person? I need a safe space. And that's what they're saying. I mean, look, I recently did a story where a black person was asked to leave during his own birthday party. He wasn't being disruptive. Him and, I think it was 12 friends and family members reserved a table, and they had an agreement in advance for the whole table to pay gratuities, and they were still kicked out. The cops were called on them and everything, and they were told to leave. Where's their safe space? Do minorities ever get a safe space anywhere? No, not in the general public. Do women ever get a safe space? Not necessarily. But here you have white MAGA guys that are like, I need a safe space because these restaurants are being overly political. And sometimes they're getting yelled at by constituents. One restaurant labeled as unsafe on the app, according to the Daily Beast, was a Red Hen in Lexington. Now, that's where Sarah Huckabee Sanders was politely asked to leave because of her political positions. Now, whether you agree with that or not, right? It wasn't her being violently kicked out. It's just the owner had a political opinion that didn't agree with hers. Okay. But you also had other instances last year. For example, Mitch McConnell got yelled at. Now, I don't agree that they should have grabbed his food and threw it away. But you can yell at him. Christian Nielsen, Kellyanne Conway. Those are people that are in elected office. I don't believe that anybody should be assaulted, right? But high-profile politicians, if you see them out and you're their constituent, damn right you can yell at them. And you should. That's free speech. You like free speech? Are you a free speech warrior? Then why aren't you defending people's right to talk to their representatives? Oh, right, because it doesn't involve giving them tons of money. That's the kind of speech that these politicians unfortunately love. And the irony, of course, is these are the same people who constantly yell at progressives when these guys are being racist. They say things like libtard, you need a safe space. Are you triggered, libtard? But at the same time, in reality, it seems like they're the most easily triggered people and are now literally going to safe spaces. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation. set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.